Dear?
Welcome, this is the regular meeting of the Architectural Board of Review, Village of Lake Bluff,
Everybody sees
Tuesday,
the back of
August
the-
3rd,
Oh.
2021. Roll call,
Never
please,
knew
Mike.
anyone.
Okay. Member Waymire,
Here.
Member Callahan,
Here.
Member Dittmer,
Here.
Member Dahlman,
Here?
Chair Hunter,
Here.
and Member Kerouac is absent.
All right, consideration of the June 10th minutes, which we have. It was talking about landscaping for the village. Any comments, questions, response, whatever?
Nope.
No,
Looks
sir.
nice out there, but you think they cut that in half? In a circle?
I don't know. It looks appropriate though.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, okay, good.
Well, I mean, the Public Works just put some mulch down to, to
Weeds?
make it so it didn't look unfinished. We're still working on getting the landscape contractor signed up to a contract and,
No, I'm talking
Oh.
about the
Remaining.
circle.
oh, the circle. Oh, that circle. Oh, that
Yeah.
part. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I forgot which project we're on. I was thinking of the PSB.
Okay, see, we
PSB's been
digress.
on my mind today.
I digress. So, then I need a motion to
Circle.
approve the minutes of whatever I said it was, June 10th.
Second.
Can I have first?
Oh. I thought you. Motion to approve minutes as submitted.
Okay, anybody have a second?
I second.
Okay. We're still into the roll call business, right?
Yeah, we are. Member Dittmer. Aye or nay on the minutes?
Well, I wasn't here, so.
Oh, I
We can
guess,
still approve mine, wasn't either.
Okay, second?
aye, okay. Member Dahlman,
Aye.
Chair Hunter,
Aye.
Member Callahan,
Aye.
and Member Waymire.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Minutes are approved.
Okay, this is when we have time set aside for any non-agenda items brought up by visitors. Seeing nobody out there unless somebody is calling in. Nobody's.
No, I think the only person connected is our applicant.
Okay, then we'll go right to it, which is a consideration of a sign permit for the Lake Bluff Middle School at 31 East Sheridan Place. Everybody should have a copy of what we were received. And anybody have any thoughts or comments? Or do we need to, the applicant is signed in?
Yeah, the applicant is connected, so is that Jay or Nate there with us?
Yes, I'm sorry, Nate Blackmer couldn't be with us tonight. He's
there you
has
are.
a showing at his house, so I'm filling in for him. I'm Jay Kahn, the Director of Finance and Operations for Lake Bluff School District.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any comments to say before we get deliberating?
Just that we've had this sign in front of the middle school for a long time. I don't know how many years. It's been there since I've been there, and I'm going into my 8th year. It is made of wood, and it is rotting and falling apart, and we decided we wanted to replace it both to get something that looks a little nicer, but also that will hold up to the weather, because we need the current sign is not going to last a lot longer.
Okay, thank you. Who wants to start? Julie? We'll go this way.
I don't have any comments.
Oh, come on.
I'm fine with it. I think that's great that they need to replace it, because if it's worn out, then having a nice new sign for our community to see on the corner would be great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I agree.
Neil?
Yeah, I have a number of comments.
Oh, good.
I have a picture on my phone of the sign at the Lake Bluff Elementary School, and the two signs are similar in shape. They're not similar in color, but I'm not sure that matters, because it's not like a brand that people would automatically notice. But the one at the Lake Bluff Elementary School has a graphic on the front of it in addition to the words. This one is pretty bland. And that's one thing. Here's, I don't know, Bob, if you can see that, this is what the current one looks like.
Yeah, You mean the one at the elementary school? With
Yeah, at the elementary school.
With the gazebo and some doodads, yeah. Oops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm familiar with that.
I'm also familiar with it.
Yeah, okay.
And
A lot of time up there.
a bigger thing, a big thing with it is when you drive into the parking lot and you drive out, anybody who's going by can see the back of the sign real clearly. And I wonder if they couldn't do something with the back of the sign, because everybody who goes into the parking lot that drives out looks right at it, or anybody that comes out of the school looks right at it. And I don't have any great ideas, like maybe they could take their mascot and put it on the back, or do something with it. So it's not just a blank slate. And also, the existing one has a raised railroad tie planting bed around it, and I don't know if that's gonna stay or if that's gonna be removed.
That will stay. The current sign is very simple. It just says Lake Bluff Middle School. We were going for more of a straight replacement, keep it simple and focus on the plantings around it as more of the decoration.
Okay, one concern about that is that the flowers that are there right now they're almost tall enough to hide the sign.
They are.
So the sign's just gotta be a little bit taller. I like the flowers. I think they look nice. But it'd be good if the sign was high enough that they didn't conceal it. So those are my thoughts.
Okay, all right. Well, my thoughts are that I remember when that sign was put up, and I want to say it was donated by some group, but I'm not 100% sure. And I know that the garden club designed and installed the flowers, but this is probably close to 20 years ago. Might have been when the first remodeling and additions were done, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But anyway, I don't mind that it doesn't have the graphic on it. I think it looks a little bland if it's going to be just this color. But if they're going to retain the railroad ties, I would suggest that there's just a low planting. It's very simple. That plant material that's in there is really not the right material to be in there for the very reason that Neil just pointed out. And a lot of it's just dead. It's hard to maintain that stuff, especially in this kind of a climate where we have no rain. So I think leaving the ties there is fine, but do we have a color on it?
Well, the current sign is just a wood with white letters. The new sign will actually have the school colors. It's blue and yellow. So blue letters with a yellow outline, and I believe the base material is a cream color.
Okay, how about the posts? Are they gonna be the same cream color? Because in the other school, I think they're blue, aren't they?
They will be the same color as the sign.
Would anybody like to think about the posts being a different color?
What are the school colors?
They're blue and yellow. You can,
Well, that's what they did at the elementary school, is use blue and yellow.
and their school colors are actually red, so I think they just, the Lake Bluff district in general is kind of a blue and green, and the middle school is more of a navy and yellow for their school colors.
Well, would it be possible to match what are the posts made out of?
Same material.
The same material as the sign. It's called Extera. It's a wood composite material that holds up well in the weather and will be routed. Letters will be routed in and then painted.
Yeah, that looks better. The contrast.
So does this stuff take paint?
Yes, but I believe it's weather resistant by itself. But it does paint well. I'm not sure if it's painted or if the color goes all the way through. I'm not that familiar with this material. The sign company uses it extensively and recommended it. And it's similar to the elementary, and that's held up for many years. We haven't maintained it at all since it's been put in, so.
What's everybody think? You okay with it the way it is, or would you like to jump it up a little bit?
I think having it matching will be fine to have the beige and beige. It'll make it more simple, especially with the bold colors of the blue and the gold for the lettering, if that's what's intended.
Say that again, the blue is
If
the
it's got
letter.
if it's got the school colors with the blue and the gold, that's enough excitement on a sign to just have it be neutral with the posts and the background would make sense.
I don't think you want to draw attention to the posts. Just, I mean, you know, the lettering on the sign would, that's what you're looking at.
Okay,
I agree with what Julie said on colors, and I like the size of the text because it's easy to read when you're driving by. And I think for the plants, maybe a very hardy ground cover would be an ideal solution.
I think you're right, yeah. And it's confined as long as the railroad ties stay in place.
Yeah.
Actually, the intent of the supporting for the sign is really kind of nice. It almost looks like a camp, though, you know, with the wood and the sort of a craftsman style put together, but that's probably not appropriate anymore. Anyway, okay, so I need a motion. If somebody would like to make a motion with, now, you brought up the back end of the sign.
Yeah, I'd like to see them do something with the back, it's because it's so visible. The one at the elementary school, you don't see it. But the one at the middle school is extremely visible.
Maybe they could just do the same print on the other side.
Seems like there could be an opportunity. I mean, that's an interesting idea, and you don't want it to be too distracting for, I guess, like, to get it too busy back there. But it could be something interesting where they could do something as a school to, you know, have the kids have some sort of participation in it with different things that kids do in art projects, and maybe that would be something interesting to make it feel like it's theirs, that sort of thing.
I don't know what that would be.
I don't know either, but I don't know if we need to dictate what that could be. I think it's an
No.
interesting idea, and doing plain or having some sort of decor on there could be nice, but I don't know if we need to help decide what that has to be and what it needs to look like.
I think we were just trying to keep costs down. Putting lettering on the back of the sign would probably increase the cost of the sign significantly. It's already a fairly expensive sign, and it is on an angle, so you really don't see it unless you're looking for it. I don't think there's a lot really see the back of the sign.
I would disagree with that. If you drive into the parking lot, when you drive out, you're looking right at it. If you walk out of the front door of the building, you're looking right at it.
I hope they're really watching where they're going with all the kids walking around rather than looking at the back of our sign, but it is visible, but it's not directly visible. It's still at an angle, and it's the rear of the sign, so I don't know that it has the real estate that
Consider this.
warrant paying for extra.
That's from where you'd be sitting in a car.
Right, yeah, I was over there. I'm just wondering if we couldn't just plant some arborvitae behind it.
Put more landscaping there, yeah.
Put a little, you know, couple of, what do you think? Landscape guy?
Yeah, I mean, you could
Without spending
easily
any-
put some shrubs behind it, and then you'd cover it up. Yeah, and also, like, I don't think the general public is in that parking lot at all, because it's mainly just for teachers. So that's another thing. I mean, most people aren't driving through that parking lot.
That's true.
If it was a sign for a business, you would put something like, "Have a good day." I mean, I'm not proposing that, but
Yeah.
you'd put something on the back of it.
I guess I don't object to just a plain off-white thing there. I understand what you're saying, but I think we're trying to make something that doesn't need to be made. Unless we wanted to just plant something to,
I mean, you could plant something in the back of it and cover it up for a lot cheaper than,
yeah.
you know, doing something on the back of the
And
sign.
it doesn't have to go the full height of it. If it
Yeah.
was
No,
just half the height
no,
of it,
just
it would do
something.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take the tall stuff in the front and move it around to the back.
Yeah.
They'll all die, but that's okay. So,
Apparently, it doesn't come in colors. Apparently, you can paint it different colors, so shouldn't be limited as to what color we could make it.
Well, I think the intent is to keep this thing as low maintenance as possible, so you don't have to repaint it every 3 years or something like that.
But it apparently looks like wood.
How long has the one at the elementary school been there? That's been a number of years, hasn't it?
As long as the school's been there, maybe a
And
year
it-
after that.
And when I went out to look at it, I don't see any deterioration on the sign.
No.
Like paint chipping or anything like
I
that.
don't know what that's made out of.
Yeah, but I think it's the same product.
Do you know if the elementary school sign is made out of the same product?
It's the same product, actually from the same company.
Oh,
We're having the
okay.
same people do the sign because we like the one at elementary. So, and it's held up pretty well.
So where are we here?
Do we need to dictate what's gonna happen with the plantings around it? Is that part of what we need to make a decision on? Because we're working on a sign here, but is that part of what we need to make a motion on regarding changing the plantings or saying what they need to do?
Well, I think if we want to recommend that those purple plants go out of there because they're disrupting the sign, and they were never the appropriate plant material. They've always been there.
That was actually the Lake Bluff Garden Club that came out last year and put in new plantings in the front of the building for the sign as well as for the planters in the stairway.
Right, yeah. They don't always make the right choice.
I do see that where they grow, they are fairly tall, but I don't think they're obstructing the letters. I think it's still very clearly reads.
Well, you
Lake
can
Bluff.
see it, but they do, and half of them are kind of gone. This has been a tough season for anything to grow
Yeah.
or be maintained. So what do we want to do here, people?
I mean, I think we can approve the sign, but make a recommendation to adjust the plantings. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Because it's gonna make for better visibility, and there might be issues with the plantings when they dig the new signposts anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, I can do a motion. It would be with recommendations on the plantings.
yeah.
But it seems like you might have more to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to make that recommendation. I'm trying to think of how it gets done. Who does it? And that becomes an issue. And, we're working with budgets here that are not ours. I'm not sure that we have any donations coming in that would allow that to happen. But the intent is there. I mean, we can recommend that they try and do that.
Could we request they use the blue and gold colors of the school?
Like maybe the black colors that are on here for the letters and the,
Well, that is a navy blue. Is that correct? The
Yeah,
letters
they're-
on the border is
They're
navy blue?
using the colors for the letters. They're using blue and yellow.
This doesn't look like that in the drawing.
Wow. I'm sure they'll get the right color on the sign.
is that right? The printing and the
Yeah, 'cause it looks the same.
black line around it would be blue instead of black?
I'm trying to blow up my picture here. Yeah, there's no black on the sign. It's all blue with a gold.
Oh, the copy we have makes it look all black. That's,
So
Yeah, no,
it is a dark navy blue then. It's a school blue.
yeah.
it's kind of a royal blue. It probably didn't copy well on the copies, but it's the outside of the sign would be blue with a gold interior line, and then the letters are all blue with it, and the gold outlines the letters.
Okay.
That'll look better.
Oh. All right. Well, that'd look better. Okay. I think what we should do is deal with the sign and then make a recommendation on what happens on the ground as a separate issue. Because I don't think we can demand that to happen. It's just a recommendation.
Yeah, because the application doesn't specify what colors, it just says 2 stock colors.
Yeah.
So can I make a motion to approve the sign as presented?
Yes? Is there a second on that?
I second.
Could we say
Yeah.
2 colors? Because that could be yellow and black.
I don't wanna do
I'd
it.
really prefer the lettering to be blue.
Yeah, no, that's what he said. It is-
Oh, I thought you said just 2 colors.
Yeah, it says blue and yellow.
Okay.
He
That's
said it
fine.
was blue and gold, so I was assuming
Yeah,
that's what they
okay, I'm
meant,
with
the
you.
intention.
Okay, so, where are we? You seconded it?
Tim seconded it.
Tim seconded.
Yeah.
Okay, so, any other
Ready-
discussion about
Okay.
just the sign portion of it? Okay, then roll call.
Okay. Member Dittmer,
Aye.
Member Dahlman,
Aye.
Member Callahan,
Aye.
Member Waymire,
Aye.
and Chair Hunter.
All right,
Okay, motion passes.
okay, secondly, I think we should just make a recommendation, I don't know if that's how you do it, that something be dealt with in terms of the plant material, that the stuff in front is too tall, and maybe should be relocated to the backside and a ground cover of something to deal with the front half. It's really not that much space. Actually, the front is a lot of space.
Yeah, not too much.
That's the back, no, in the front, there's quite a
Yeah,
bit of space.
about 6 inches in the back,
Yeah,
several
it's
feet in
probably
the front.
this much in the front.
Yeah.
So if we can make a recommendation, however we want to word that, and so do you want to wordsmith that?
Anyone?
Well, it's tricky too, because who's paying for that too? So if you have new plantings and you start asking for a lot of landscaping in there, then that becomes another budget item.
Yeah,
Yeah. I would just keep it really simple around don't get too fancy,
right.
just. and
Can you
not-
turn that into a recommendation?
Let's see, I recommend that the plantings be appropriately sized for the space and I guess reworked.
Okay, and I would add to it low or, nothing is no maintenance, but low is low maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I understand the intent to have the plantings not cover the sign.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just, not only are the tall ones tall covering, but the rest of them are sort of dying out and just, it doesn't look good now. Okay, so, what do we have to do on a recommendation? We don't have to,
Well, did you want to do that as a motion and a vote or not? Just leave it as an informal
I
recommendation?
think it's an informal recommendation, because it seems like if it's a motion, then they've got to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, yeah, we could just leave it
I mean,
as is.
We're
Okay.
still dealing with tight budgets here, I think.
Right.
And I don't know who's gonna do it.
Right, yep, that's a good point. That's probably best. Okay. So that's fine. So I don't think we need to do anything.
Okay, so,
Thank-
pardon?
Thank you, I appreciate the input and feedback and the approval of the sign.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Have a good night.
You
Yeah.
too. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, what else we got? Got nothing
Well,
else?
we have nothing else on the agenda.
Okay.
So,
Anything new happening with the master plan business? With the, the streetscape stuff?
yeah, they're getting ready to go out to bid on the streetscape.
Do we know
there
what it's
on
gonna be?
Street. Yeah, it's gonna, I think you pretty much saw the last plan of it there. Where, They're, you know, keeping the parking spaces, keeping it two-way. I'm not sure if they're, I think maybe the last detail to iron out is whether they're gonna do a little bit of festoon lighting or not there,
A little
but,
bit's one thing, but what was up there at the corner was a lot.
right,
To me,
yeah,
that was
right.
like-
I think they got the feedback that they shouldn't do a lot
Yeah,
there,
okay.
yeah.
All right, and then
Right.
it's all subject to budget, but at $14,000 a pop for the poles. it
Right.
seems like it's-
Right.
What's the
Right.
schedule for when they would do that?
This year, I mean, I think they don't wanna, they're trying to get bids, so they don't wanna put too much limit on the contractor's timing. As far as I know, the village engineer's working on drawing up the bid documents. I assume they're gonna give the contractor some flexibility on when,
Okay,
my assumption. Not that there's a whole lot of time left in the season,
No, winter's almost here.
that the asphalt plants are gonna be open, yeah.
so just so the rest of you know, was that 2 weeks ago when we took the walk around with Jody?
Yeah, right,
The village board has asked that we start to expand the notion of a master plan, going from basically the train station down to Evanston. And see what kind of things can be incorporated or, just additional thinking, whether it's how to deal with outside dining and, different materials that we may have to change up in Block 1 because they're deteriorating and, if anything that might happen across the street, on the north side. So it was just sort of a little walk around with Jody and Mike and what's his- Jeff and
and Drew,
Drew and who else? Public Works,
Jake
Jake.
Drew.
was there. So it was a good walk around, good, I think a lot of decent input, I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so that's something that we will be thinking about, I assume, at some point in the future. I don't know
Mm-hmm, right.
when that's gonna happen, but.
I had my own walk around last night, going across the new bicycle bridge.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it open? Oh, it's temporarily open.
Temporarily
Because of the
open.
goofy, yeah.
And maybe it's part of the construction, but there just seems like a whole bunch of fences there. They've got a fence to stop you from getting off the bikeway, and then beyond it, they got a fence to keep you from falling down the hill. I don't know why they
Are
need
these
two
the
fences
temporary
for each of
fences?
those.
Did you see all those sharp corners
Fences
on
they've
that
got there are
fence
pretty
too?
ugly.
Yeah,
The
well,
wire
that,
looks like it's gonna impale somebody.
that galvanized woven wire you're talking about?
It's like sticking off the end and like this far, where any kid that ran into it would just like rip their body apart.
Right, yeah, they're definitely gonna have to make a change on that galvanized woven wire. It wasn't supposed to be on the front side of that fence. It was supposed to be on the back side, so they're gonna have to move it to the back and, you know, maybe set it a little lower so it's
So
not
when's the
sticking
real
up the top
railing coming?
and all that. End of the month for the real railing on the bridge.
If I remember right, a lot of that was state requirements, wasn't it?
Yeah, right.
Just in case a semi tries to go across it, it's just.
Or if they need to replace the bridge, they can run one-way traffic over it. Right?
They could.
They can.
They could.
I guess.
Okay, well,
All the dog walkers
Nothing
would
else,
be mad
Mike?
though.
Nope, nothing else.
all right, then, motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Second?
All in favor? Do we need to say that?
Yeah, all in
All in
favor.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're done. Thank you.
Meeting's over.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
I know.